Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, or wherever you find yourself on planet Earth. This is SD Tech, and if you're coming across my channel for the very first time, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. And if you're a returning subscriber, I just want to say welcome back. So in this video, we are going to launch and configure a virtual server, which is actually our EC2 instance in AWS using AWS Management Console. So this report, I have a report that I've actually created that is going to align the step that is needed for us to actually provision and also access our EC2 instance. So that is what we're going to do in this video. And if you don't know how to create your AWS account, you want to check my previous video where I actually shared how you can create your free tier account and start learning how to use some of the resources that AWS offer. So let's hop right into the video and start with our lab.
Solve on, let's build the future. One line of code, one dream at a time. From the cloud to the console, the rhythm flows. Innovation lives where the knowledge grows. SD Tech, your tech journey starts here. Code it, dream it, live it.
Okay, let's get our environment ready. I'm gonna hide that and try to minimize this. Like I said earlier, right? I have a report that I've actually created with Google Doc. So I have this documentation, and this report actually aligns the essential step that is needed for us to provision and access our EC2 instance. So I have all this step that is here. I'm gonna probably leave this documentation on my website where you can always grab it to follow the step, or I'm probably going to share some of the step in the my GitHub account. So you might go there and take this documentation, because I'm going to leave this documentation with you. If you're a person that once you watch the video, you need documentation to actually run some of the commands. So we're going to start with this lab. So, okay, let's just open our EC2 instance. So the very first thing we need to do, right, for us to actually create our EC2 instance, we want to first of all sign up to our AWS account. So we're going to be clicking here to sign up to our account. Like I said, if you don't have an account, you want to make sure that you create this account. If you don't have an account, you want to make sure that you create an account, right? And if you haven't watched my previous video on how you can set your own free tier account for you to be able to start using AWS and practice in case you're trying to transition from whatever fee to this new career, is pretty much easy. You can always do that. Okay, like I said, I'm gonna bring back my environment, just trying to arrange some stuff. Okay, so let's get started. So once we are in our AWS console, our management console, which is actually where we can actually see some of the resources that we have. We have been working with resources, but that is not the essence of this video. Let's just go directly straight and create our EC2 instance. So, okay, so we're going to go right now. We want to navigate to where we have EC2 dashboard, right? Like since I've been using it, I can just click here. It will take me to EC2 dashboard. But should in case it's your very first time and you haven't know how to exploit AWS account, or you don't even know how you can go about it, so you just want to go to a quick search. Can you see the search bar? You just want to go there and type EC2. And once you type EC2 instance, you're going to see the various options. So we are going with this EC2 instance. So we're going to click there. And once you click there, it's going to take us right now to the EC2 instance dashboard. So now in our AWS management console, we have actually searched for our EC2 instance, and we have find out that we can actually see these services that we have. So now we want to go ahead and click and open it, and now we can see we are now in this dashboard, right? So now that we are in this dashboard, that is the step that we took. We want to go ahead and launch our EC2 instance. So this is actually what is, let me see, you can change your default landing page for EC2 instance. Oh, okay, but I don't want to. Let me just cancel that. We can, every day on a daily basis, we have some updates. So IT is always interchanging. Every day we have updates of what is happening on your account. So you can never say that once I have this information, that is a fix. No, it changes on a daily basis. So you have to adapt to the new changes that is actually going on. So we want to go ahead and launch our instance. So for us to launch our instance, you can see we can just click where we say launch instance. Can you see this? So we can click here to launch our instance. So we click here to launch our instance. So now this is the dashboard that we have clicked. We want to go ahead and give the name of our instance. So for us to give the name of our instance, I'm going to say my EC2 server. So that's the name I'm going to give to this particular EC2 instance. So you can just give a name by typing the name. Okay. So since I had like, we're going to type the name. Like I already have my name that I want to use, my EC2 server. So that is what we want to use. So we want to go ahead and also choose our Amazon machine image, our AMI. So now we are going to choose. If you want to, you already have browse for more, you can browse for even more. But in this scenario, we are doing the quick start. So we already have Amazon Linux. So we're just going to go ahead and choose this option, right? So it's already chosen by default and we are good with that. So we're going to go without. So this is actually is free tier eligible. So if you have like a free tier, by default you can use this. Okay, so alternatively you can always choose Ubuntu, Windows server, or other servers or image. These are all the various images. You can always choose any of them, but let's go. Yeah, we are using, oh, cancel. Okay, confirm changes. Okay, so if you change it, like you see, once I click each and every one, it changed and we're asking me to confirm. No, we are good with our default Amazon Linux machine image. So we are good with that. So we're going to go ahead and select that. So once we select that, we want to go ahead and also choose our instant type. Instant type is you can go ahead with our free tier accounts that you have. You want to go ahead like with T2 micro. You can also choose T3 micro, but in this scenario, we're going to be choosing to micro. This is gonna have like one VPC, one GP, RAM, and whatnot. So that we're gonna click on continue. So yeah, this is the machine image free tier. Automatically, it has been choose. That's it. So we're gonna go ahead. We leave everything, and we go ahead for the architecture. We are good the way it is. This is where I said the instant type, where we have to choose. We are good with the T2 micro. This is the option where you can click and select whatever that you desire. The higher instant type that you choose, the more you pay. So we are good with our T2 micro, guys. So we are good with the default free tier T2 micro. So we are good with that. We can go ahead and actually continue by generating our key pair. So if you don't have like a key pair already created, you can click on create key pair here and go ahead. You can give the name of your key pair, then you can choose the .pim or you can choose a .pky. But in here you have to choose a .pim, which the .pem file, which is actually how we can open our file using our SSH console. Then we can click on create or generate a template. But in this scenario, we're not going to generate any template. I think I already have some template key. We are not going to generate any key because I think I have some keys already. So now that I know I have some keys already, instead of me to click on create new key or you creating a new key, for some of you guys that is your very first time, you of course you don't have a key. You're just gonna click there and follow the step that I just demonstrated. But now we have keeper, so I'm just gonna click this down key and I'm gonna go through and I will see that I have some of this key. I have this key, I have this key, I have this key. So I'm gonna click this key because I know that's another key that I have. So I select my key pair. So I'm just gonna go further after I have selected my key pair. We want, oh, of course, let me go further and explain this. If you don't have a key pair that is already, like if you don't have any key pair, you want to generate your key pair. Once you click on generate your key pair, you want to make sure that you go ahead and actually download the key pair because you need your private key pair. Then the public key pair is going to be taken in Amazon. So you need your key pair. You need to generate it and download it on your system for you to be able to use that instant. So you want to make sure that and you keep it securely because that is You don't want to share your key pair anyhow. You have to keep it secure for security reason. Okay, so that is it. And once you lost that key pair, you cannot recover it. You can't. It means you're not going to use that instant. So be very careful with all those steps. So now we can go ahead and actually configure our network setting. Okay. So by default, the instance we want to launch, right, is has a default VPC and a subnet. So we're gonna use the default VPC and the subnet that we have. Okay, we're gonna use that. So we can go ahead and also create or customize our public IP address by clicking on enable if we want to. But let me come first. You see, auto assign public IP. We can, if it's not enable, right, you can go ahead and click on enable. But it is already, that's to say when you want to customize it, but by default we already have it like assign. It's auto assign. You can see here it's go automatically assign. It's already enabled, so we're going to be having our IP address, so we are good with that. Okay, so then we can go ahead and also choose our allow SSH traffic from anywhere. We are good with that. So then we're going to also click on these two, because we want to allow traffic from HTTP and also from HTTPS. So we need traffic into our system. So we allow. But should, in case you don't need traffic into your system, you want to leave them like gray, but we do want traffic into our system at all ports. So we can also go ahead and enable Windows if we want to enable that, and we can choose RDP ports. They'll put the port, but we are not doing all this configuration. We are okay with our default network. You see, it's already selected here. We are okay with that. No preference. We use a default subnet in any way, so we are good with that. So we're gonna go further. The configuration storage 8. We are good with this by default. That's just it. So very simple. And then we're gonna click here on launch, right? So just click there to launch. You can see our EC2 instance was successfully launched, and that's the ID of our EC2 instance. So we can go ahead and connect to our instance since our instance is running. But let's click on view all instances. We want to see the instance that we actually have. So once we click on it, you will see if it was actually pending, it's going to be showing here pending. But in our scenario, my system is super fast, so mine is actually showing warning. So my instance is actually running. There you can see the IP address of this instance that we can use, and there you can see the public IP address. You can go further to check all the statute and the alarm that you want to set, monitoring, security, networking, storage, and tags. So you can go ahead and change all this. By default, we have our key value as a name, and that's it. So let's go back to the detail here. Okay, once we have reviewed and we have launched our instance, just like we see, and we can see our instance is running. We want to go ahead now and connect to our instance. So for us to connect to our instance, we're going to select the instance from our instant dashboard. You can see this is our instance. So we click on select. Let me remove this. Now it's not selected. So we're going to click on select. And once we select it, we want to go ahead and connect. So we can either connect by choosing SSH tab, then we follow any command that we need to go ahead. But if we don't want to use this method, we can also use other method to connect. Can you see? We can see connect directly from this instance using our share, right? I can click the share. You're going to see directly. It's preparing to connect. Let me cancel this. Yep, it's preparing to connect. You can see we have just connect into this instance, and we can go ahead and say pwd. You can see where we are, home cloud share, then ls to see what they have. So you see I'm already running some of the Linux command. You can say uptime to check my time, enter. You can see the time. Ls block, we can say ls block to actually check the hard drive or the disk site. You can see, so some of the commands I'm already working in that EC2 instance. This is one of the way that you can actually connect to your instance. Then now that we are done, we can actually click on close. Then we have other ways that we can actually see connect here. We can also use our SSH method to connect. So how are we going to do that? So we're going to click on, let's say action, right? Let's come back here. No, okay. No, let's go back. You can see click on action and click on connect. It will take you to that route. Okay, so once you click on connect, right, to connect into your system, I will go back here, back to EC2 instance, go back to the instance. This instance, you can click here to connect, or you can click the other route that I showed you. Okay, so once we click here, right, if you want to log in into your server using the SSH client, this, for example, let's say you have your IDE, we are using something like Visual Studio Code, then you want to connect through your Visual Studio Code to connect into this instance, you can just click on SSH and you copy this command. When you copy this, and you use it, this you want to make sure you keep it. Also, you don't want to share it so that people will not be able to log into your EC2 instance. Now you're only seeing it because I permit you to see, but when I don't want you to see it, you will not be able, because I'm going to delete everything immediately after the lab that I always share with you. So that is it. So once we are done with this, we want to go ahead. Also, you can also connect using the EC2 instant connect here, this other method. Okay, by using just the IP address. You can also use EC2 serial. These are the various way. Management is one of the another easy way to connect. So these are all the ways that you can use to connect, but that is not what we want. We just have our EC2 instance, and that is it. Okay, there's something. Okay, once we actually created our instance, we know that our instance is running. We don't want to incur some charges, so we want to go ahead and delete or terminate the instance that we just created. So to do, go to instance statute. We can see, we can stop, we can start, we can reboot, and we can terminate. Now I want to, you can actually just click on terminate to delete it. You can actually stop before you terminate, doesn't really matter. Right now I'm just going ahead and terminate the instance. So then they will tell you once you terminate, blah blah blah, you can go ahead and read. So just click on terminate and successfully initiate termination. So our instance was terminated. So we're just gonna wait and see if we see have a look. It's kind of shutting down. Yep, and that's it. We refresh. It's shutting down, so our instance has been terminated. Yep, that's it, and that is it. So in my upcoming video, I'm going to share with you how we can go ahead and exploit some of our instance that we have just created through using Terraform. Remember, we actually use the management console. So I'm going to create an upcoming video on how you can actually launch an EC2 instance using Terraform. Thank you all for watching this video. Love you. Okay, if you were able to watch this video up to this end, I just want to say thank you for staying to the end, and I hope you were able to learn something. Keep pushing, keep fighting. There is nothing that you can achieve. Stay tuned for more upcoming video. Bye bye.
Solve on, let's build the future. One line of code, one dream at a time. From the cloud to the console, the rhythm flows. Innovation lives where the knowledge grows. SD Tech, your tech journey starts here. Code it, dream it, live it.